Hi, you're watching The Tattooed Psychic. I am The Tattooed Psychic, and I appreciate you watching and listening to me, the few of you that do. And today I want to talk about triggers, trauma, spirituality. We're going to talk about all of it today. And the reason we are going to talk about it is because I recently have been going through an episode of being triggered and catching myself in a mental place I didn't like to be, right? And that's what happens when we get triggered. It takes us into, for me, it takes me into a panic mode. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be struggling the whole time. People don't understand me. Why are they being rude to me? But when somebody disrespects me or is really rude to me blatantly, it triggers me into all the abuse I'm trying to heal from, I've been, abused my whole life. And I don't say that for pity. I say that because I have to admit it, first of all, and so the more I talk about it, the more I can release it. But also because I want to help people who might have been through the same thing, and it's hard, right? People think because I'm spiritual or I talk to spirit or I do this or I do that my life, oh, it must be so great. I used to have people tell me that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's hard for me every day to be happy. I ain't gonna lie, it's the biggest battle of my freaking life, is to be happy on this earth, because it's so hard and people are so cruel. And I'm not that cruel, but I've had to learn, I've had to learn to protect myself. And when you're abused, you learn protection is self-defense, right? But when you want to heal, right? When healers heal, they open up such a big part of their soul and their passion, right? That we become ultra sensitive. But we also have triggers, right? Because we've been treated like shit our whole lives, most of us, and we have to navigate through this life being a loving, kind spirit, and that's hard. I'm gonna tell you, it's hard. And I used to drown my sorrows, and now I have to face them, and it's not easy for me. I've had a lot of loss and a lot of tragedy, And I don't like to talk about the past all the time, because to me, I want to have a vision of the future. And I'm trying to, navigate through life and survive, and things will happen that trigger me, and I feel like I failed. And I know some of you feel that way. Like you've done all this work to heal, and then a trigger happens and you're back, So here's what happened to me is I called my friend yesterday, because I've been going through some shit. And just like in my own head, and I know it's not the truth sometimes, and if people treat me a certain way, that's really not on me, that's on them, and I understand all of that, but it still triggers me. But luckily I caught it, and my friend, who's been my friend, we figured out 31 years now, crazy, we were in a band together and everything. She's one of my dearest friends. And she said, Faye, but look at the growth. Look at you acknowledging your triggers and your feelings, and you don't want to run from them. You don't want to just run from the situation. You want to face it and fix it and be the best you can be. And that's fucking awesome. And I said, yeah, that is growth. And I'm really proud of that, But it's still, that emotion is there and that trigger, no matter how, what I do. But here's what I've done, the cellular work and the subconscious work in the past 9 months. That's where I thought I might have failed, because I thought I was doing really great, and then these triggers happened. People dying, and, and not feeling respected or heard in some situations. And these things happened to me, and I got back to the old Faye, right? But the cool part about that subconscious cellular work is it does make you more aware that you have to pay attention to how you're reacting. And it's hard, you guys, and because you're used to reacting a certain way, and your body is used to reacting a certain way because you've had to protect yourself. right? And so I know that some of you are going through that, because I can't be the only person who does these healing things and then gets triggered and falls back and thinks they're a failure, you know. But what I realized is I'm not a failure, and these things happen, and I can't choose how someone chooses to treat me. I can only choose how I choose to react. But when you have PTSD like I do, it's a difficult disease to handle. It's how do I word it to people so they understand? And some of you have it so you do understand. It's, for me, it's like it takes over. And trying to control it is a difficult process. It's difficult. And I've had to struggle with it, and I won't lie to you. One thing you'll learn as we go on this journey together, called the Tattooed Psychic Channel, I will never lie to you or deny what I go through, because that's not how we heal. That's not how we speak our truth. And it's the more people that know that people go through the same things that they do, the more they want to survive instead of blow their brains out, you know. And I never hide what I've done or who I am and what I've been through. You know, the first time I tried to kill myself, I was on my 10th birthday at the foster home of hell, and I tried to hang myself with a purse. I don't know what I was thinking, right? And some people hear that and think, that's intense. And you know what? When I look back, yeah, a 10-year-old trying to hang herself with a purse on her 10th birthday, that's intense. That's how fucked up my childhood was, how unloved I was. And I'd rather be dead than go through that abuse, right? That's what I've been dealing with. And when I think back and I think of a 10-year-old now, or I see a 10-year-old child, I think, I hope they're not going through what I went through. And or I see a happy childhood, you know, like my cousin and her husband are the best parents ever. Their kids have a great life. And everyone has struggles, I'm sure, but, you know, as parents go, my aunt and uncle, the people I know best in my family, they are the best parents, and those are the parents I wish I would have had, you know, because life would have been different. But that wasn't my fate. That wasn't some of your fate, right? And it does suck, right? And it sucks to think you're all alone. And so the purpose of my channel, the purpose of me even yabbing away, is if one person hears it, then... and they go, fuck, okay, I'm not alone, she gets me, maybe she can help me, or maybe I can help other people by being stronger in myself and trying to figure this out so I don't hurt myself and I don't end up hurting others. And the purpose of our life is to help each other in any way we can. I mean, whatever way you can. Some people volunteer. Some people rescue animals. You know, some people are big brothers and sisters to kids. Some people are mentors. Some people are, what are they called? People who loan people money to entrepreneurs, and they help other businesses start, or whatever they can do to help people, right? Some people donate, you know, money to charities or whatever, right? And that's our purpose, really, and also to try to save the planet. And I think that now we can talk about spirituality. That with my spirit guides, what I have found is many times I've told them it's very hard for me to be human. This is very difficult, dealing with these emotions and these feelings and these triggers and this mental mind fuck that I go through, and PTSD, and I think horrible things, you know, just end it, there's no purpose in life, you know. I just go down a deep dark hole, man, when I feel that I've given someone kindness and they treat me badly. It just does something to me that I can't explain. And because I just want to live in a world where everyone gets along and everyone is nice, and we try our best, and we know we struggle, but we're here to support each other. And we know the world isn't perfect, and we know we're not perfect, but we're trying, you know. And so spiritually, people say, well, you're a spiritualist, you know, you should be all focused, and, you know, rely on spirit and rely on God, and I can't do that because I know that I have to do the work too. I can't just give everything to God. God's fucking busy, you know? And I can't give everything to my spirit guides because I'm human, they're spiritual, and I'm going through this shit, and their emotions are, some of them don't even really have emotion, you know? It's just existence of pure light, you know? And so it is, you know, so we have these discussions, and I talk to my spirit guides about it, and I say, this is fucking hard. I hate this mental mind fuck. You've got to give me tools to figure this out. And I get emotional about it because it's about facing it and acknowledging it, right? And you have to acknowledge, accept, release. My spirit guide says that. And I think with some things I haven't acknowledged yet, but they are coming to surface because of the healing work I'm doing. And it is emotional for me because I think back and holy shit, yeah, pat yourself on the back if you survived an abusive childhood and you're still breathing and trying to fucking give love in the world. I mean, hello, warrior. Hello, fucking warrior. Pat yourself on the back if you feel that you've been mistreated and bullied and you still survive and you can still laugh and give love and have an open heart. Hello, warrior. So many times when you're an abused person, right, you feel that you're a victim, but in reality, you're a warrior. Think about that. And it's okay if you've had a time in your life where you've hated yourself. I hated myself most of my life, and that's the God's honest truth. Because I had no love. I didn't think I was worthy of it. Because everyone in my life treated me like shit, with a handful of exceptions of people I got to see rarely in my life. And it's been a long fucking haul. And so this next part of my journey, I still want to be that inspiration, but I also have to heal some parts of myself. And I have to make some big decisions, you know, in my life. And where I'm going to put my energy. So I took a mental health day off work today, and I'm going to go to the mountains and go where my spirit tells me to go, which is this amazing place in Washington called Roslyn, Washington, and there's a Druid cemetery there. And I go there. I used to go there years ago, before I moved to Texas, and it's just old, ancient, and Druid magic, and my spirit guide Joshua is a Druid, so it is very powerful for me, and I need to rejuvenate and regroup and get my mental health in order. And just so everyone knows, spiritual people have mental health problems too. Just throwing it out there. And just because we're mentors to some and teachers to others and guides for others and healers for others doesn't mean that some of us aren't going through our stuff. And that's why, you know, I've had so many healers say to me, you shouldn't tell people about your stuff. And I'm like, if they, you know, why not? If they use it against me, that has nothing to do on me. I tell people my things because, first of all, I get a lot of emails saying thank you for sharing your story because I relate to it and I'm going through the same thing. And it is about connection, right? It's about, we want to connect. We want to feel like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. We all want that. We want it in our workplace. We want it in our private life. We want acceptance. We want to know that we belong, that we fit in. And you do. Because we're all fucking nuts. You know what I mean? We all got stuff on us. And we have to change it by helping each other and being honest. I'm probably one of the most blunt, honest people you will ever meet in your life because I say, why not? And I'm not mean. I'm just real. This is how it is. You know? And, that's how it is. And my readings are that way, and that's why people like my readings, because it will make you focus on the things you need to change in your life because I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm giving you tools. Spirit is giving you tools to get where you need to be, just like they do me, you know. And I've come a long way, and I have, and I'm really glad I recognize the triggers in my life. And plus, and that's when I lose people I love in death. And even though I can talk to them still, you know, on some levels, sometimes my heart is so soft around them. I couldn't talk to my grandmother for years. I mean, every time she came around I would just sob, and she didn't want to hurt me, and I didn't want that pain, so we just made an agreement that when I heal more, we'll talk. And last night, my brother died a few years ago. He passed on in an accident, and he came to me last night, and I just looked at his life and went, man, he was a fucking warrior too. He was a brave man. And he gave me comfort, you know. And I don't know how much longer I have on this earth, and I know that my biggest thing is giving love, and as cheesy and corny as some people think that sounds, it's what I want. But sometimes I give tough love, and I appreciate tough love back, you know, because that's how I learn. And oftentimes my spirit guides will give me some tough love, and I respect it, you know, because maybe sometimes tough love is better than no love at all, right? And I had a healer friend of mine, shamanic practitioner, say to me, you picked the loneliest job in the world. And I will tell you, it is lonely. And I think I've mentioned this before, but years ago Matt Damon made a movie about being a medium, and he portrayed it quite well. And I was blown away how accurate he really was. And I don't think he got enough credit for that movie, because I don't think a lot of people understand mediums. And I don't think a true medium who sees the shit. You know what I mean? And it's lonely sometimes, and lonely by, the only thing I mean is not necessarily companionship necessarily, but just finding people who understand that space. Do you know what I mean? So it's a lone job, and I struggle with that sometimes too, because I'm a misfit, man. I'm a misfit in my family. I'm a misfit in society. I have nowhere to roam. And it's been that way my whole life, and I've navigated well. Like I said, if you're that way, then you know what? You're a warrior, you're not a victim. I'm going to always say that to you. And that's how it is, you know. And when you get sober too, and you know, you have to face these things. And it's been hard for me, because this is years of some damage. You know what I mean? So we're dealing with it. So that's my advice for today, and that's what I have to say is I'm proud of myself for noticing my triggers, and I'm proud. I'm going to take today and heal and reapproach tomorrow in a new way, and I'm proud of you for getting through today and tomorrow, and I'm here for you if you need me. But I want to explain something to you guys. I don't do love readings or things like that. My readings are geared to more heal the spiritual soul, the damage done to your trauma. There are plenty of good love readers out there. If you look online, you'll find them, or ask around your local town or city, and you will find there are great readers out there for that. That is something I just have never liked doing or enjoyed doing. It just isn't my thing. So if you reach out to me, please keep that in mind. But if you need help as far as your spiritual path, or you know you're going through some trauma, or you're just abuse, or you're trying to get sober, or whatever, you just reach out to me. I can help you in that area of your life, or try to anyway, at least be a shoulder to cry on, you know. I always tell people I'm not, overweight. I'm just full of love, right? I'm just full of love, man. Love is cushy and soft and woo woo woo. So anyway, I'm not even going to pull cards today because Spirit didn't guide me to pull cards, and I have no cards in front of me. I looked, I said, oh, do we have cards today? No, we do not. I think Spirit just wanted me to get this out of my chest, get this out of my head, and I'm going to work on today clearing my head and getting control over my PTSD and my panic attacks, Whew. Mama Faye has been through it. And I know some of you have been through it, but let's get through it together now, you know what I mean? Because I believe in that so much. And the reason I believe in the power of love so much, and the power of healing, and the truth will set you free, and the fact we have to connect, right, is because I've seen the results of how that works. When someone feels they're valued and they feel like they belong to a community, and they feel they belong at work, or they feel they belong at anywhere in life, right? Anywhere in life. Or they belong in a good relationship and all of that, then magic starts to happen in their life. And you see it, and you're a part of it, right? Because you're in their life. So why wouldn't you want that? Right? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why? That's why I really try to support community, but it's hard for me too, because I'm going through my own thing, but also it's hard to get people to understand the power of community right now, The younger generation, I think, gets it. And so I get to hang out with a lot of younger people lately, which is really nice. And what I mean by that is, the younger generation is so interesting to me, because some of it is just over emotional, right? And others are just like these doers. We're just going to go do it. We're going to change the world. We got to fight for our rights. We got to do this. We got to do that. And I love that. And but that's how the world is in general, right? It's not about a generation. This is how the world has always been, where people, put down the younger generation a lot. And sometimes I just wish they had a little more patience with people, and understand that some people, especially who were raised a certain way, have to have time to adjust to new things and all of that. And I think that patience is something we're all lacking, really. And so that's one thing I'm trying to work on as well, and I suggest you do it as well. But I think that we've always been in Human Spirit says it, it's always been victim or warrior mode. It's that's just how it is. And you have to choose, right? And like I said, if you've survived abuse on any level, if you've ever felt lonely and alone or hurt or betrayed, that's when you give love more. That's when you've survived it. You are a warrior, and that is when we have to give love more. Because when I get upset or angry or feel victimized, I turn into a different person, and I don't like it. And you don't like it either, and I know you don't, because I don't like it. Nobody likes it. That's why people become addicts. That's why people become alcoholics. That's why people isolate. We've got to stop isolating, start dealing with our mental illness epidemic because of all the trauma everyone has been through, and just regroup, rethink. And I hope that makes sense. So once I get through this cycle, I definitely have to book some guests. I mean, this is ridiculous at this point. I have been kind of lazy on spirit work, and then I got this tarot reading, and they were like, two of them said, because I just listened to them on YouTube, there's so many good ones, and you just find your sign, and they give you a general, I'm a Capricorn, so they give a Capricorn reading, about Find Your Sign. There's so many good ones. And they were all like, oh yeah, this is a hermit time right now for you, so just hermit. One reader was like, you've got to hermit, just hermit. And I feel that. And then you come out and you're the phoenix in the fire again, because that's what we do as healers. We hermit, phoenix. Hermit, phoenix. You know? We have to deal with our victim to become the warrior, and that's just how it is. And I think hermiting is very good because it makes you self-reflect. It makes me self-reflect a lot when I have to hermit and be alone and go, okay, what do I want? And that's where I'm at right now. What do I truly want? Because sometimes I don't know if I want a YouTube channel, and I love podcasting, I love radio, I love all that. But I don't necessarily feel the need to be seen by social media or look at me, and feeling I have to look a certain way all the time. And I'm too old for that. Leave that for the pretty younger people, you know. And so I haven't made a complete decision on what I want. And I don't even know if I want to stay in Washington State. I don't know, you know, I'm just healing right now, so I'm not really planning the future, you know. And so I'm teetering, right? I'm in this phase of what do I want? And so sometimes when that happens, we start to go into hermit mode so our spirit can figure out what we want so we can move forward and create that vision. And then I found this studio in Seattle that does podcast. They have the engineer, they have the whole studio. It's really nice, and it's a fair price for an hour, and I think that's a good, you know, it was a fair price, and I thought, wow, that's a pretty good deal for everything you get. And I'm thinking maybe I should up my game and go there so it's more professional. But I don't know. We're going to see what happens. But you have to make money, spend money to make money, right? Isn't that the same? So yeah, I have to come up with a vision. And that's what happens when you hermit. And that's what happens when you got to self-reflect. You have, and you need to live life. You have to have a vision. You can't just exist every day thinking your job is the only thing you're worth. Unless you absolutely love your job or have your own business, and that's what you do, and you have to have it grow, then of course that's your worth. But if you just work for someone else and it's just an 8-hour-a-day job, and you give too much to it, maybe put some of that energy somewhere else. That was the advice someone gave me the other day. Like, maybe just pull away from giving passion to your job and give that passion to, like, don't let your job fail or anything, but give that passion to your art, to your YouTube or something else, right? Because when I give passion to something, I'm all in, no matter what it is, right? And I thought that was great advice. And if you're going through that maybe, and you don't feel appreciated in situations in life, maybe switch your energy into something that will make you feel appreciated and put your mindset there. And what I found is it was difficult for me to do in the beginning stages of the PTSD attack and the triggers, because a lot of things happened to me at once in the past couple of months, and a lot of loss and a lot of change really quickly. And I'm a creature of habit. I just want to be consistent for a while, because the past, the trauma and everything, a lot of just my life was changing rapidly, very quickly all the time. I mean, it was crazy. And so right now I just need consistency, and thank God I figured that out. But what I found is it was difficult for me to take a breath and see the truth, like step out of the mental mind fuck and see it with what's really going on, you know what I mean? And it took me a few days to do that, almost 2 weeks, honestly. And so I had to do that, and once I did, I was like, okay, I've got to change how I react and change where my passion is going. And I figured that out all by myself. And so that's where I'm going. So today I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hit the restart button on everything in my life, including how I'm treating myself and the mental mind fucks I give myself. And I'm going to realize that I'm a beautiful, powerful girl, a woman, and figure it out from there, you know, and figure out what I really want in my heart. My heart, I just want to help people, right? I wish I could just fly around and give public speeches and try to get people on a program of healing, right? But I also want to make sure that I'm healing too, so I can be real about it, right? So I can say, you know what, I have PTSD and this is how I deal with it, and maybe this will work for you. Let's just try it. Maybe it will. And if not, maybe we can figure out what will. Because I wish somebody would have done that for me. And you do have to take the first step, right? You have to take the first step and realize you have a problem, which I did, and fix it, you know? And remember that no matter how anyone treats you, that's not a reflection on you, necessarily. My poor dog wants a treat. But it's a reflection on them. And for me, I take everything so personal, like what did I do wrong? That they are treating me this way. Or what did I do wrong that I'm losing friends to cancer or suicide? What am I doing wrong that I wasn't there for them? You know what? And I self-inflict that so bad that I just you know what I mean? That's what I do. If you understand that, then keep watching this channel, because we're gonna go through it together. I don't care what anyone thinks. You know, you can judge me and say, oh, you know, say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care anymore. I'm too old to care what people think. My mission and goal is to figure out what I can do to help people on a massive scale that is prosperous for us all, you know. And I don't necessarily mean financially, even though that is part of it, because you have to have money to travel and help people or build a healing center or whatever. I mean, that's how I think. I'm like, how do I do this? Well, you have to have a place people can go and want to heal, and you have to bring in healers who can do the work on these people, right? So it is a community thing for sure, and figuring out how to do that, especially when you live in Seattle. You know, what do they call it? Seattle freeze is real. You know, it's hard to build community. And I'm not putting it down. It's just the reality of the energy here. You know, energy is energy. And it's different in different places. Southern energy is different than West Coast energy, trust me. And so it's a different mentality. And so I'm learning to navigate through it all. And I know that some of you are learning to navigate. And I'm sorry if I ramble. That's what I do. And I guess if you're a podcast host or a YouTube channel, you should learn to ramble. Otherwise, you have a lot of dead space. And I just wanted to reach out to you and say that for the message of the day. You know, if you're going through it, I go through it. I'm here for you. And Spirit is here for you too. And I don't want you to think, if you are seeking a spiritual path, or you're seeking to become a healer, and you're feeling these things or negative thoughts, or you're stuck in some way, you're not alone. It's a normal part of the journey. It's very normal. I've done this for a long time, and I very much know that sometimes we get stuck in life and we have to navigate out of it and figure it out, and it's hard. And sometimes we feel alone. Sometimes we feel like Spirit isn't even there, but they are. And what I've learned is they're just preparing us for our future, and we just have to get there. You know what I mean? They're lining the road for us, but we have to see it and walk on it. You know, and they want us to navigate through this so we become better and stronger and wiser. So when our clients come to us, or anybody comes to us and needs our love and our understanding, even, I mean, I swear to God, even if it's just a cashier you see at Ross. I mean, I've done it a million times where I see a beautiful woman at Ross cashiering, or a man, and I just can tell they're having a bad day, and I'm like, man, thank you so much for your service. You're so beautiful and patient, and how many smiles that can bring. Just acknowledgement. People want acknowledgement. So get out there, but we want acknowledgement. So look in the mirror if you need acknowledgement. Go, you know what, girl? You know what, man? You have fought. You are a warrior. You're not a victim. You might feel like a victim right now, but when you reflect on everything you've survived, you are a warrior. And I have to tell myself that too. Doesn't matter who you are, okay? I love you all. I really do. I mean that, and I just appreciate everyone, the 10 of you that watch. I appreciate it very much. And I appreciate the emails, though. I do get emails, and I appreciate it very much. And I hope that kindness reach you, and I hope that you continue to grow with me on this, because I feel my spirit drawing me to this podcast studio, because I feel like, I feel like that's the best step for me, because I don't know technology very well, and I don't know these things. I'm a good public speaker and a good healer, and that's what I do. Technology and me, it's very confusing. And so sometimes I believe it's best to pay people who know how to do that and love to do it, and offer a service to do it. And that is also building community, right? It's about connecting and bringing people in. And they have a little cool studio where I can have a guest sit, and they have a Zoom if I need to use Zoom, and all these things that I feel like that's what I need, and it's worth the money to pay that, to get it done professionally in a studio. And I wish I was more tech savvy, honestly, because I see these young girls, and they're able to do this stuff. Like, they got the cameras, they know what to do, and all that. And I think it's so great. I'm like, I just love independent young women. I really do. I think it's so great to see women taking charge of their life at a young age. I just respect the hell out of that, and I wish I would have done that more. Anyway, so I love you all. That's all I have to say. Blessings to us, blessings to you. Thank you for watching. Love yourself, man. Love yourself so you can love everybody else. All right, love.